Well, it's been another year for the White Sox and nothing really has changed with this team. Obviously, they're one of the worst teams in the American League, which is still not good. And they didn't have their worst season ever in 2025, but it still was not a good year for them. So moving into 2026, I'm going to give you guys a preview of what this team maybe could look like and where they're going to be at in 2026. So let's just get right in this video. We're going to start with their last 5 seasons. Now, the last 5 seasons haven't really been the best. At least the last 3 haven't, right? They've all been 100-loss seasons for them. 2022, 2021, we still had that winning team a little bit. And then a lot of those guys got traded or they went somewhere else. So 2021 was the last time they were in the postseason. Unfortunately, they lost to the Houston Astros 3-1 in that ALDS, and they still had a pretty good team back then. But the modern day White Sox, they don't got much going for them, to be honest. A lot of their guys are going to be coming through their pipeline. Their pipeline does look really well. I think that's where this team's going to thrive. But before we get there, let's take a look at their contract situation, because there's really not a lot going on here either. They only have 3 guys that they have under control right now. They still have Andrew Benintendi. They're paying him $17.1 million for 2026. And the White Sox reportedly have already extended Luis Robert for 2026 as well. He's going to get a $20 million option. Once again, every time I look at this contract, I just feel so bad for Luis Robert. And then Mike Tauchman's the other guy that's going in arbitration that they have so far. I'm pretty sure everyone else is in arbitration or pre-arbitration, because that is it. Those are the only 3 guys they have under control on this team. Looking at 2026 in a whole, they've only committed about $63.5 million with the options and with the arbitrations and all that stuff. And obviously in 2025, they've only committed $85 to the team last year in 2025. So I imagine it's only going to go up a little bit, maybe around 90 million. I feel like they're not going to spend a lot of money in 2026. And they were obviously ranked number 28 in payroll in 2025. So I don't really expect much to really change here. I don't really expect them to go out and get a ton of guys, to be honest, or even if anyone wants to sign with the White Sox in 2026. So let's take a look at this roster and what we could kind of see for this team moving forward. Let's start with the starting rotation. Once again, it's really not the best. Drew Thorpe's probably their best player, honestly. It's really hard to tell. Nothing's really gone well with this rotation, so I guess we'll just wait and see. And then in the bullpen, they've obviously had a couple guys in the bullpen. One of my favorite guys to watch is Jonathan Cannon. He obviously started a couple games, pretty sure in 2024 and in 2025, but he's definitely a fun rookie to watch. I really like watching him play. I think he's pretty solid. You just got to get some of that control down and he could be pretty good, but once again, we'll wait and see in this bullpen as well. Now moving over to the position players, once again, I definitely think Kyle Teel should start on this team. He's just phenomenal. Great pickup they got for Garrett Crochet from the Red Sox. He's definitely going to be a good player to have at your catching spot. Moving on to first baseman, it could be Soto or Vargas or honestly Meade. It could be any of these 3 guys, to be honest. I definitely think Brooks Baldwin or Chase Maroth could definitely start at second base for this squad. And then I'd probably have Miguel Vargas at third base. Then obviously Colton Montgomery at shortstop. What a phenomenal rookie year he has had. If you guys haven't seen Montgomery, he's a really good rookie. I think he was 5th in the AL Rookie of the Year voting. So shout out to him. He definitely needed a little bit more time, I think, to really show a lot of that talent. But I think we were going to see that in 2026. And obviously this outfield's going to be pretty similar. I feel like Andrew Benintendi is going to play left field, Luis Robert is going to be in center, and Mike Tauchman's probably going to be in right field. And then for the DH, they could honestly hit anyone that isn't playing. All these options are pretty good. So that's kind of the team I see for the White Sox in 2026 if I had to give a starting roster for them. But nothing really crazy there. Let's move over to their top prospects. The White Sox have 5 prospects on the top 100, which is really impressive. So let's go through them all. We're going to start at number 35 with Braden Montgomery. He's obviously an outfielder in AA currently. He was obviously drafted first from the Red Sox. Once again, he was in that Garrett Crochet trade. And his 2025 campaign was actually really solid. I think he played extremely well. He batted .270 across the 3 teams he did play. His highest level was AA, which was impressive. He also batted pretty well in AA, batting a .272 with 34 games played. He just played really good in 2025. He had 68 RBIs. He had over 121 hits, which is impressive. And he did have 14 stolen bases, so he can steal a little bit if needed to. I think he's going to be a great player when he gets to the league. Unfortunately, his ETA right now is 2027. I feel like he could be up quicker, depending on obviously how he plays in spring training. That's going to be huge for him, but we'll kind of wait and see on him. But I think he's going to be a great talent. Now, coming in at number 40 is going to be Nolan Schultz. He's obviously the 2022 White Sox first round pick at number 26. And in 2025, I feel like he definitely struggled a little bit. He had a 4.68 ERA in 2025. He pitched most of his games at the AA level with a 3.34 ERA. But in 16 innings at AAA, he had a 9.37 ERA, which is really not good. He only pitched in 5 games, obviously. He just let up a lot of runs, which wasn't good for him. He only had 18 strikeouts in those 16.1 innings. Hitters were betting .359 against him, so obviously not good. So that's where he struggled in 2025. So it's very interesting to see how he's going to do in AAA next year or in the spring breakout or in spring training. That's another key thing to watch about a lot of these prospects is the spring breakout, because they will be playing in them for sure. Definitely a tough year at the AAA level, but at AA he was definitely solid solid for sure. So we'll see how he is in 2026. His ETA was 2025, so it should be this year if he gets called up. We'll kind of wait and see what's going on with Nolan Schultz. Now coming in at number 71 is going to be Billy Carlson. Now he was drafted in 2025. He was the White Sox first round pick at number 10. Now he says he's in rookie ball. His ETA is 2029, but he hasn't played a game yet in pro baseball. So he was already up there this high after his first round pick, which is very impressive. So once again, we'll see how he is. Maybe he's in the MLB spring training. We'll kind of wait and see, but ETA is 2029. So we definitely got a long time to wait until he's in the league. Coming at number 73 is going to be Caleb Bonemer, and he was drafted in 2024, the second round from the White Sox at pick 43. And his 2025 was actually pretty impressive for sure. He was only at A ball and high and batted a 281, which is pretty impressive in 107 games. Had 108 hits, so once again, basically a hit per game, which is extremely impressive. Had 64 RBIs, 12 home runs, 30 doubles, which is impressive, and over 108 hits. I mean, just absolutely phenomenal work from him. His ETA is 2028, so he's still got a lot of time till he gets to the league, but definitely another good shortstop and third baseman that could be used at the MLB level. And the last player we have for the White Sox on the top 100 at number 88 is going to be Hagen Smith. He was obviously the White Sox first round pick in 2024 at pick 5. And his 2025 campaign was definitely interesting. He had a 3.57 ERA. He had 75.2 innings pitched. He had 108 strikeouts, which is extremely good. And he only let up 42 hits, which is also pretty impressive, I feel like, for the innings he had pitched. Hitters were only batting 166 against him, which is really good. Yeah, definitely an interesting double-A campaign for Hagen Smith. His ETA is in 2026. So once again, we'll see if he gets to the league this year. Obviously going to be playing in that spring breakout and in spring training. Definitely a player I think that could be really good at the MLB level. So those are the 5 prospects you have in the top 100 for the White Sox. All those guys are going to be good once they get up there. A lot of them are just going to take quite some time to get to the league. Now let's move on to the White Sox attendance in 2025. It was actually pretty solid, I'm not going to lie. They had 1.4 million fans come to the stadium this season, and actually they were up on attendance compared to last year by 65,000. So looking at their attendance year over year, they were actually 14th out of the 30 teams, which is pretty impressive. But looking at attendance as a whole in 2025 with who had the most fans, they were number 27th. So really not the best compared to the rest of the league. So that's kind of where the White Sox stood. They averaged about 17.8 thousand fans a game. It's obviously pretty far down from a lot of the other teams that they were averaging, because most teams are right around 30,000 to 29,000. The White Sox got a lot of work to do. Once again, we've heard the stadium talk with them. We heard the team maybe wants to move in the future. I don't really know where that stands, but with the attendance numbers, I could definitely see that argument. Let's move over to the 2026 draft lottery, because the White Sox are in a really good position to get the first round pick. Since the Rockies are ineligible for the MLB draft lottery, the White Sox actually have the best odds out of any team. They have a 27.73% to get the first round pick, which is extremely impressive, because since we've had the draft lottery, I don't think any team has been really close to like 30%. So that's extremely impressive for the White Sox. We'll see if it happens. We haven't seen the teams with the most odds get the first round pick, but almost a 30% chance is pretty likely to happen. So we'll see what happens with the White Sox pick. Once again, they usually pick pretty high, so we'll kind of wait and see what happens, but they could definitely get a top 5 pick. Now my prediction for the 2026 White Sox, obviously they only won 60 games last year. I don't really see much changing, to be honest. Once again, if they could get to a season where they don't lose 100 games or aren't the worst in the American League, that's going to be better than what they had in 2025. But I really don't see them getting like all these crazy players and signing guys and trying to deal with that option. I feel like they're going to get good when their talent comes up from the pipeline. And that's where you're going to see this White Sox team thrive and maybe get back to winning. But until that happens, I don't really see much changes happening. Their best season will be about like 63 wins and up to try to not have another 100-loss season, because this is the third one in a row in 2025. That's kind of my thoughts on the White Sox. I don't think they're going to spend a ton of money. They're going to wait for their talent to come up through the pipeline. If they can hold off these 100-loss seasons, that will probably be good for them. But we'll see what happens. That's kind of my thoughts on the 2026 preview for the Chicago White Sox. Let me know in the comment section down below any players you guys are excited to see in 2026. Are you guys excited to watch some of their rookies get called up? Let me know in the comment section down below. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everyone.